What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae, across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. Happy Thursday to all of y'all. Hope y'all have been having a smooth week. Hope everything has been going great for you. And, man, we're going to get into today's docket, a few things from yesterday's practice and a few things that I think might interest y'all, or it might not. I don't know. Sometimes y'all just take what I give you and y'all just run with it. And then sometimes y'all probably just watch these videos and you're just like, Myron, don't really care about today, but I'll catch you again tomorrow. And if that's the case, I appreciate you just rocking with me for another day and waiting for me to talk about something that you actually care about. So let's get into it. So as of yesterday, this was the injury update from yesterday's practice. And I thought it was kind of interesting, but I also think it's some good news and some bad news into it. So in yesterday's practice, here's what the injury report listed. Did not participate, obviously, Deshaun Wharton, and we know he's out with a hamstring, so obviously man's not going to practice. Limited participation came from Ike Ekwonu, Pat Jones with an ankle injury, and Hunter Renfrow with ribs. Now, considering some of the shots Hunter Renfrow took in the game, I'm not surprised that he has a rib injury by any means. I am a little bit, but not much. And Pat Jones, I did not see if he was injured with his ankle at any point in the game or if that's just something that popped up. So I'm not sure. And then full participation with no issues was Robert Hunt, who has been battling a foot injury, Damian Lewis with his shoulder and ankle, and then A'Shawn Robinson with his groin injury. Now, NANI? I think that groin injury is still kind of concerning to me, but you know what? It is what it is. I have been hearing good things from Ekwonu, who is taking it day by day, stacking his days, as they say, due to his appendectomy, and it's looking good. They're not ruling him out for week 2. I personally would, but it's looking good, and hopefully by week 3, or no later than week 4, he'll be back on the field on that offensive line. Renfrow, I'm hoping he gets better. I need him out there. I need him to be a catalyst. Jones, I'm shocked by, again. Did not expect Jones to be listed out there. But then full participation, Hunt, Lewis, Robinson. I do enjoy that. I do like that. And I think we need them going forward because we definitely can't, especially for Hunt and Lewis, we can't afford to be utilizing our entire backups on offensive line. Like, we simply cannot afford that. Not by any means. Not by any means. So, those are just some names to look forward to as we head into week 2 versus Arizona, man. I'm definitely going to be keeping tabs on them a little bit more just to see how they're showcasing through tomorrow's practice today's practice. Because yesterday's practice was shell, basically, as I call it, helmet. Actually, it wasn't even shell. It was just helmets only. Because shell is usually helmet and shoulder pads and then shorts. They didn't even have the shoulder pads on. I think it was just helmets. And then today is going to be a full padded practice. So how they fare today, and they'll probably do a walkthrough tomorrow if they're not flying out tomorrow. So seeing how they go there, we'll see what happens, man. And then one person, I know I was talking about the O-line earlier, but one person in particular who I've been heavily criticizing is one Austin Corbett who spoke. NANI? So apparently Austin Corbett spoke on week 1 struggles for the offense as well as the line and himself. Shockingly to me, he did it yesterday. And here's what Corbett had to say in regards to his perspective. He says, it was absolutely off. It was slow. It was ugly. It was disappointing. Whatever adjectives you want to throw in there, if you want to throw in behind it. And so we came out there today, and I think it's a different urgency of practice. And that's what we're trying to take with us all week and take it with us to Arizona. And then he said this about his snaps during the game. He said a couple that were high. Just taking Bryce off his spots, like he said, he doesn't notice because he's being an athlete playing football and getting it from there. So it's just making things easy on him. NANI? A few, Just a couple? A couple's two, sir. You had more than two. And I know, Myron, it's a turn of phrase. It's just, he's like utilizing it. No. A couple is two, a few is three, and anything after that is a party for me. Like, I don't know what y'all need me to say. Austin Corbett, yes, your high snaps played a key role into this, man, because we all know the snap is literally the start of the play. If you start the play off funky, out of whack, everything else is out of whack. You take Bryce off his spot that he's not even thinking about, that throws him off his rhythm. That throws the receivers off their rhythm because they're expecting it either later, earlier, what so have you, or even for the running backs who can't get the handoff clean and things of that nature. So I've said it many a times. I've already said it all week. I don't think Corbett should have been starting. I've said it since the summer. I don't think Corbett should have been the starter. I thought it should have been Cade Mays. But this is where we're at, and this is what the Panthers are going with. Now, after week 2, if we're still having these issues, I say make the change immediately. Shoot, if the game is close, make it at halftime. Call it for what it is. If the game is close in Arizona, but Corbett's still making bad snap after bad snap, at least one bad snap per drive, make the switch at halftime. I'm not playing, and I'm not trying to wait around. I do appreciate the fact that he owned it. I do appreciate the fact that he said, hey, yo, some of these are high. I can't be doing that, but come on now. He also mentioned that Carolina was having issues getting the plays off because I guess there was some malfunctioning within the helmets. And then not only that, most of the plays weren't getting off until like 1 second with the play clock, which was infuriating me. That honestly was infuriating me. So if that was an issue, okay, cool. You definitely have to take that into account. But even so, even if the communication and the helmets are off, you're still a player. You're still an athlete. You can still ask directly to your teammate, your quarterback, or whoever to make sure you got the play right. You don't have to just guess and try to fill in the blanks if you might be missing a piece of the play. So that's how I feel about that because it's honestly basic, bro. This basic fundamental, like when you're a child and you're in the huddle, they tell you, hey, yo, if you don't know the play, ask your teammate. Ask your teammate. Now, you're supposed to be listening, but if you don't know, just ask your teammate, and they're supposed to tell you. And speaking of those fundamentals, man, apparently Avero and company are getting back to the basics. Nani? Apparently Avero and company are getting back to the basics because he held at practice a specific work circuit focused solely on tackling. And man, I've been told y'all to tackle. I've been told you to do that. I've been told y'all. So he made a circuit on tackling, and Coach Canales noticed it and gave high praise to it because here's what he had to say about it. So in regards to making mistakes, he says, we just go right at it. I think the gift of when you come out of a game and there's some fundamental things that you can focus on, I think is just a great opportunity to go right back to the basics. Coach E had a phenomenal tackling circuit down there. Tracking in the open field, coming off the stack, second guy attacking the ball, getting our knees bent and getting our feet square and finishing the tackle with a good wrap. And so there was a good circuit today. And you know, there I looked at the guys and saw the energy down there, and it wasn't an eye rolling. It was just like, you know what? All right, this is on par with how we did. Let's improve this fundamental part of our game so that we continue to pursue the good football we're looking for. I was screaming it till I was blue in the face. Our tackling was atrocious last week. Our tackling was abysmal. Our tackling was disastrous. Our tackling was garbage. Straight basura. So, I'm okay with hey, we're going back to basics type of practice And we're going back to, wrap up, break down. Make sure you keep your head on the outside when you're tackling and your head is popping through the side of their hip. And then drive. The legitimate basics to making good tackles. Because, yes, sometimes you can shoulder check somebody. But everybody does it nowadays. They're honestly expecting that more than you to wrap up. So all they got to do is use your momentum to bounce off of you. But if you come through and wrap him up, you won't have that issue. So I'm all for it. I'm honestly okay with this. In my personal opinion, it makes the most sense, and I wouldn't disagree with anything of that. And to me, it also speaks to Aviro being like, all right, bro, y'all ain't executing the way I'm asking. Maybe it's me, but first things first, let's get back to the basics to make sure we are executing on the same page and on the same accord and see the same things. That's definitely a win there in my book. And then we also have the Panther freeze frame of the day that kind of coincides with it. Look at them, wrapping up. Everybody's on the ball. I like it. Everybody is there. Now, if y'all can get Nick Scott up out of there, we wouldn't have a problem. But everybody's there. Everybody's there. Everybody's cooling. Everybody's doing their thing, man. So now, y'all know what time it is. Time for your favorite segment. It is time for Panther Nation to speak your truth. So let's go ahead and get into this comment section real quick, see what y'all talking about. And the first one comes up from Zach Dean, 34.99. My man says at the 10:30 mark on the video, Renfro is that guy. They just ran him deep routes all game long. I don't understand. He needs to be Bryce's possession wide receiver, short and intermediate all game long, and every now and then that will. But him in stride next game. Hey, Zach, 100% agree. I would not change a single thing you said there. Everything you said, 100% agree, 100% feel, 100% would have said myself. So, hats off to you, my boy. I have no issues with that comment. Next comes from Avira Robinson. She says, there has to be a reason why so many continue to get this injury. There has to be a pre-warm-up for this. When are the staffs of all these teams going to do extra research and not depend on past choices? I mean, she got a point. But I've been the type of individual, I think, that in football, I definitely feel this way for basketball, is so many players are doing bands and weight-resistant training with exercise bands and body weights and things of that nature in these workouts, but they aren't actually practicing, like doing full practice at full speed. That way your body knows how it's going to react in this situation, and it's not a band, but it's like really doing it. I think that's an issue that's been going on and causing a lot more injuries. I could completely be wrong, and there's no science to back up my claim. I'm just speaking a personal opinion, not a scientific fact. I think if you can get a good balance of band-resistant work along with actual practices and field work, you will be just fine. But if you lean too heavy one way or the other, like only practice but never any like band resistance and in the weight room stuff, you're bound to fail. But if you're only in the weight room and band resistance, you're bound to fail. But if you can find that sweet spot in between the two, you're golden. And then last comment comes from boy Gerald Eves, 3340. My man says, in my opinion on defense, we should move DJ Warnham to inside linebacker with Roseboom and get Princely on outside. Secondly, it was stupid as hell to put Bobby Brown III in at DN on our D-line when Wharton went down. DL should be Derek Brown, Bobby Brown, and then Ashawn Robinson or Crometti. So I will say that is interesting. Warnham inside with Roseboom. Princely on the outside. Honestly, I thought he was already outside, but listed as the backup. I could have to go double check that. And then I'm with you on the Bobby Brown the third at DN because I always thought it was going to be Bobby, Derek, Bobby, and then whoever. Turk Wharton. That's who I thought it was going to be. But now it's probably going to be Ashawn Robinson or Crometti if Crometti shows up or something happens to Robinson this week. Hope nothing new. Will not speak that into existence. But I can see where you're going with that, and I can see the vision. However, guys, that's all I have for the. Wait, hold up, because I know y'all like it. But that's all I have for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom so you can always be notified of when these videos are dropping. Next, make sure to leave a comment below and let me know, hey, what are injury updates that you're going to be paying attention to just to keep an eye on? B, what did you think about Austin Corbett speaking and his statements on his snaps and things like that? What do you think the issues are? And C, how good do you feel that Vero's trying to get the team back to the basics? Is that a 10 out of 10 good feeling? Is that a 1 out of 10, like, it doesn't matter, he's still bad? Or is it a 5 out of 10 where you're kind of like, this might be the right direction? Where are you at on that scale? Let me know all that in the comment section below. And again, make sure if you want to see my personal content, follow me at Tornado McRae on YouTube. I have a bunch of videos over there as well and a bunch of shorts. Hopefully they'll entertain y'all and y'all enjoy those. But guys, with all this being said, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all you Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.